No way. That dirty maid is not going to be your mother. Alexander Harrington's voice exploded through the grand hall like a gunshot, bouncing off the marble walls and silencing every conversation in an instant. The crystal chandeliers seemed to tremble in the echo. Dozens of eyes turned toward the center of the room, where 10-year-old Lily Harrington, dressed in a crimson satin gown, stood with her finger pointed across the space. Not at either of the two stunning women Alexander had presented to her, but at the black maid who had just stepped into the room carrying a stack of neatly folded towels. Naomi Reed froze mid-step. She'd only intended to cross the hall quietly to take fresh linens upstairs. Now every face in the room was on her. "You heard me," Lily said, her voice unwavering. "I choose Naomi." The gasps came in waves. One guest set down his champagne flute too hard, the sharp clink echoing. The blonde model in silver laughed, a short, cruel sound. "Oh, that's adorable. But darling, she's the help." The brunette in blush tilted her head, smirking. "Sweetheart, your father asked you to choose a mother, not a maid to teach you how to polish silver." Lily's small chin lifted. "She takes care of me. She's there when I'm sick. She listens when no one else does." Alexander stepped forward, his tall frame casting a shadow over his daughter. "Enough, Lily. You're embarrassing yourself and me." "I'm not embarrassed." Lily's voice cracked but didn't falter. "You said I could choose, and I choose her." The blonde's smirk sharpened. "Children say the cutest things. But in the real world, people like her," she flicked her gaze at Naomi like she was a stain on the carpet, "don't belong in families like ours." Naomi's jaw tightened. Her first instinct was to lower her eyes, to let the insults slide past her like always. But when she saw Lily's hands trembling at her sides, she forced herself to stand taller. "Don't talk about her like that," Lily snapped, stepping in front of Naomi. Alexander's patience snapped. "Go upstairs, Lily. Now." "No!" Gasps rippled again. A child defying Alexander Harrington was a spectacle none of the wealthy onlookers had ever seen. Alexander's eyes flashed with warning. "Lily. She's the only one who's been like a mother to me since Mom died." Lily's voice wavered now, heavy with emotion. "If you want me to choose, then I choose Naomi. And if you can't accept that," she swallowed hard, "then maybe you don't know me at all." For a moment, even Alexander didn't speak. The models shifted uncomfortably, clearly no longer enjoying the scene. "Take the towels upstairs, Naomi," Alexander said finally, his voice like ice. "We're done here." Lily's eyes filled with tears. "You're wrong." She turned and bolted from the hall, the crimson of her dress vanishing up the grand staircase. Naomi clutched the towels tighter, the sting of humiliation settling deep in her chest. She turned to leave, but as she passed Alexander, their eyes met for the briefest moment. His expression was unreadable, but in it, just for a flicker, she thought she saw something that looked a lot like doubt. And then it was gone. The grand hall did not relax after Lily fled. It tightened. Conversations restarted in clipped whispers, like blades being sharpened. The two models, Evelyn in silver and Bianca in blush, turned in unison toward Naomi as if a stage light had swung onto the wrong actor. Evelyn's smile was smooth and dangerous. "We all adore Lily," she said, voice pitched to Carrie, "but she's a child. Children latch onto caretakers." Bianca clasped her hands, pitying and practiced. "It's sweet truly. But being a mother is more than bedtime stories and folded towels." Naomi held the towels against her ribs. "I was crossing the room," she said evenly. "I didn't intend to interrupt." "You didn't," Evelyn replied. The interruption walked in red satin and made demands. A soft laugh rippled from the nearest cluster of guests. Alexander raised a hand. "That's enough. We won't make a spectacle of this." "Too late," Bianca murmured. Alexander's eyes cut to Naomi. "Take the linens upstairs and remain in the staff wing for the rest of the evening." Naomi nodded. "Yes, sir." She took one step and stopped. Lily's bracelet lay on the marble, a tiny gleam near the foot of the stairs. Naomi bent, set the towels on a console, and picked up the charm. It was the silver moon Lily never removed. Evelyn watched, amused. "Careful," she said lightly. Wouldn't want fingerprints on heirlooms. Naomi straightened. It belongs to Miss Lily. She offered it to the butler. Please see it returned. Bianca's gaze flicked over Naomi's uniform, from collar to hem. You must be very proud, she said. Not every maid is announced in a ballroom as a candidate for motherhood. More laughter. Soft, nervous, complicit. Naomi's fingers tightened around the edge of the console. She had been trained to be invisible. She had not been trained to watch a child she loved be shamed in front of a crowd. Alexander sensed the turn and stepped in, voice clipped. Ladies, your comments are not welcome. This is a family matter. Evelyn's smile cooled. We assumed it was a public matter, given the invitation. Then assume less, Alexander said. Bianca tilted her head. Of course, Alexander. We'll assume the house rules apply to everyone. Her eyes lingered on Naomi. Naomi inhaled once, quiet and slow, and reached for the towels. I'll go now. She made it 3 steps before Lily's voice rang down from the landing. Don't let them talk to her like that. Heads snapped up. Lily stood halfway down the staircase, eyes shining, face set. Her small fists gripped the banister. Alexander's jaw tightened. Lily. Upstairs. No, she came down 3 more steps. You told me to choose. I chose. And they laughed at her. At me. Evelyn's laugh vanished. Bianca took a measured breath, preparing another line, then thought better of it under the stare of a room turning. Naomi took a step toward the stairs. Miss Lily, it's all right. It isn't. Lily's voice shook. Mom taught me to say when something isn't right. A crush of cameras might as well have appeared. The room felt that bright and exposed. Alexander moved toward the staircase, hand outstretched. Enough. Come with me. Lily didn't move. If you make her go, I'll go too. Lily. He was close now, lowering his voice. You will not threaten me in my own home. It's not a threat, she whispered. It's how I feel. Something small and pained rippled through the guests. For once, no one spoke. Alexander glanced down at Naomi. Back to the staff wing. Now. Naomi swallowed. Yes, sir. She lifted the towels again. Miss Lily, I'll be upstairs if you need anything. Lily looked as if the words had struck her. I need you now. Lily, Alexander said, softer. Please. The words softened nothing. Lily stood frozen a heartbeat longer, then descended the last steps, skirt whispering against marble. She walked straight to Naomi, ignoring everyone else, and wrapped her arms around the maid's waist. The towels dented between them. Bianca exhaled, a small flare of annoyance. Evelyn's mouth thinned. Alexander reached them. Release her, Lily. No. He placed his hand gently but firmly on his daughter's shoulder. We're going upstairs. Lily clung tighter. Don't send her away. She's my family. The sentence landed and stayed. Even the chandeliers seemed to hold their light. Alexander didn't raise his voice. He simply applied pressure, guiding Lily's shoulder until the child peeled herself away by inches. Naomi loosened her hold first, the training again. Lily stepped back, tears brimming but unshed. Go, Alexander said to Naomi, still quiet. Naomi looked at Lily, not at him. I'll be nearby, she said. Then she gathered the towels and walked, neither hurried nor slow, out of the blast radius of a room that had turned furnace hot. The doors closed behind her with a soft hush. The hall exhaled. People remembered their drinks. Conversations reanimated in low tones. Alexander straightened and faced the room. Thank you for coming, he said evenly. The evening is concluded. Evelyn leaned close as guests began to filter toward the exits. If you want counsel on Lily, I'm very good with boundaries. Tonight, I want silence, Alexander replied without looking at her. Bianca offered a last smile he didn't return. We'll be in touch. They drifted away on soft heels, silver and blush dissolving among fur stoles and navy tuxedos. The butler, Mr. Langston, approached with impeccable calm. He held up the small charm. Miss Lily's bracelet, sir. Alexander took it and pocketed it with a nod. Have the cars brought around. See the ladies out. No press at the gate. Of course. By the time the hall emptied, the marble had cooled again. Alexander stood alone beneath the chandelier's spill, listening to the echo of his own order, go, rebound from the gold-leafed cornices. Upstairs, Naomi paused in the shadowed corridor outside Lily's room. She had not gone to the staff wing. She could not. She heard the quiet sobbing through the door like a metronome tapping the wrong hour. She knocked once, soft. "Miss Lily?" The door opened a crack, then wider. Lily's eyes were wet but blazing. "He said you had to go." "I'm here," Naomi said. "For now." She glanced down the corridor, empty. "May I come in?" Lily nodded and tugged her inside. The girl's room, all pale blue and shelves of carefully arranged books, felt smaller than usual. Lily climbed onto the bed and hugged her knees. "Am I in trouble?" she asked. Naomi sat on the edge of the mattress. "You stood up for someone you love. That isn't trouble." "He hates me for it." "He doesn't," Naomi said. "Proud. Sometimes pride gets loud and sounds like other things." Lily sniffed. "They laughed at you." "They laughed at a story they tell themselves," Naomi answered. "Not at me." "Is there a difference?" "Yes." Naomi smoothed a wrinkle in the duvet. "Their story ends at the uniform. Mine doesn't." Lily stared at the carpet. "Do you want to be my mother?" Naomi's breath hitched. She kept her voice level. "I want you to be safe. I want you to be seen. I can be what you need right now." Lily's shoulders dropped, some tension easing. "Will you stay while I fall asleep?" "As long as I can." Naomi reached for the lamp and dimmed it to a soft gold. "Lie back." Lily slid down, the covers whispering over her red dress. Naomi pulled a blanket from the foot of the bed and tucked it around her. The child's eyelids fluttered, still stubbornly awake. Footsteps approached in the corridor, measured, unmistakable. Naomi stood. "Close your eyes," she whispered. "I'm right here." The door opened. Alexander filled the frame, tie loosened, the fatigue of a long night finally showing. He took in the scene, Naomi standing, Lily half hidden under the blanket, the soft light turning them both to something warmer than the day had allowed. "We'll talk in the morning," he said to Lily, tone gentle but firm. "For now, sleep." Lily closed her eyes because Naomi was there. After a beat, her breathing leveled. Alexander looked at Naomi. "Thank you," he said, the word more duty than gratitude. "Return to the staff wing." Naomi nodded once. "Good night, sir." She slipped past him into the corridor. He did not step back, but he did not block her way. In the staff hallway, the hush was complete, old rugs, old portraits, the scent of lemon oil. Naomi leaned her brow against the cool wood of a pantry door for a single heartbeat, then straightened. In the small kitchen, she folded the towels again because her hands needed work. Downstairs, Alexander stood at the window of his study, looking out at the dark lawn cut by paths of light. Mr. Langston appeared with 2 covered plates. "Shall I send dinner up to Miss Lily?" "She won't eat," Alexander said. He hesitated. "Send tea to Naomi's room." He added after a beat, as if correcting himself, "to the staff kitchen." "Very good, sir." Alexander drew the silver moon from his pocket. It glinted in his palm, a small cold truth. He closed his fist around it and exhaled. In her narrow room, Naomi accepted the tray from Mr. Langston with a soft thanks. The tea steamed. She did not drink it. Instead, she sat on the edge of the bed and listened to the house breathe, ducks clicking, branches brushing the eaves, a child's cough 3 doors away. Humiliation had a sound, she decided. It sounded like a grand hall going quiet. It sounded like laughter disguised as advice. It sounded like a father who loved his child and did not yet know how to show it without hurting someone else. She turned off the lamp, lay down fully clothed, and let the darkness rest against her like a cool cloth. In the room above, Lily slept with one hand stretched toward the edge of the mattress, fingers curled as if holding someone's. On the nightstand, the space where the silver moon should have gleamed was empty, waiting. Soon enough, morning would come with ice on the garden stones and a thin skin over the pond. Soon enough, Choice and consequence would collide again on the far side of the lawn. For now, the house was quiet. It was the heavy quiet that comes after a storm and before another. The morning after the gala was gray and brittle with cold. Frost clung to the hedges and glazed the flagstones of the Harrington Gardens. Inside the dining room, the scent of fresh coffee drifted across linen-draped tables, but the chairs sat mostly empty. Alexander scanned the financial section of the newspaper, though his mind wasn't on the markets. He hadn't spoken more than a few words to Lily since last night. She had slipped into the dining room early, eaten half a piece of toast in silence, and vanished before he could try again. Mr. Langston appeared in the doorway. "Miss Lily is outside, sir. In the south garden." Alexander glanced at the frost on the windows. "Without a coat?" "She took one," Langston replied. But, he hesitated. She looked upset. Upstairs, Naomi was stripping linens from a guest bed when she noticed movement through the window. A small figure in a red coat was wandering along the pond's edge, head bowed. She frowned. The thin ice on the pond shimmered dangerously. Outside, Lily knelt on the stone ledge, prodding a pebble toward the water. Her breath puffed white. She tossed the pebble. It skittered across the ice with a sharp, hollow sound. She leaned forward to see the ripples beneath, too far forward. The stone beneath her boot was slick. Her foot slipped. A startled cry ripped from her throat as she pitched into the water. The ice cracked and swallowed her in a hiss of breaking sheets. From the upstairs window, Naomi saw the red coat vanish. She dropped the linens where she stood and bolted for the stairs. "Lily!" The hall blurred past her. She shoved through the back door, boots hitting the frozen grass hard. The shock of cold air knifed into her lungs. The pond was 30 yards away. She ran all of them. Lily's head broke the surface, her hands clawing at the jagged ice. "Naomi! I'm here!" Naomi didn't slow. She kicked off her boots at the bank and plunged into the water. The cold slammed into her body like a wall. Her breath locked in her chest. She forced her arms forward, breaking the ice in jagged chunks until she reached Lily. "Hold on to me," she gasped, wrapping an arm around the girl's chest. "I can't." "Yes, you can." Naomi hauled her toward the bank, her own legs numb and heavy. The water dragged at them, but adrenaline drove her on. They reached the muddy edge. Naomi pushed Lily up first, shoving until the girl was sprawled on the frosted grass. Then she scrambled out after her, lungs burning. By the time Alexander reached the garden, Mr. Langston close behind, Naomi was kneeling in the mud, wrapping her soaked coat around Lily's shivering frame. The girl clung to her, face buried against Naomi's neck. Alexander stopped short. The image locked into his mind, his daughter pressed against the woman he had publicly dismissed less than 12 hours ago. Lily's teeth chattered. "I slipped." Naomi looked up, water dripping from her hair. "She needs to get warm. Now." Alexander crouched beside them, his hands hovering uncertainly before resting on Lily's shoulder. "Come on, sweetheart." Lily only tightened her grip on Naomi. "Don't let go." "I won't," Naomi said quietly. Alexander hesitated, then nodded. "Both of you, inside. Langston, hot blankets, now." They moved as a unit, Alexander on one side, Naomi on the other, across the brittle lawn toward the warmth of the house. For the first time in years, Alexander felt something heavier than pride in his chest. It was the weight of almost losing what mattered most. "In here." Alexander pushed the drawing room door and waved them inside. Naomi stepped in with Lily wrapped in a blanket. "Sit," Alexander said. Naomi sat. Lily clutched her sleeve. "Don't go." "I'm here," Naomi said. Alexander faced the hallway. "Langston. Dry clothes. 2 heaters." "Right away, sir," the butler answered from the corridor. Alexander turned back. "How is she?" "Cold. Breathing steady," Naomi said. "She needs dry layers." Lily looked up. "Naomi stays." "She stays," Alexander said. Langston entered with a tray and a stack of clothes. He set down a kettle, cups, honey, a towel, and a wool set. "Anything else, sir?" "Blankets," Alexander said. Langston left. Naomi unwrapped the blanket, worked the towel around Lily's hair, then the shoulders, brisk and firm. Arms up. Lily obeyed. Naomi slid off the wet coat, then the damp sweater. Shirt. Lily nodded and changed quickly under the towel. Naomi pulled the warm top over her head, guided the sleeves, then handed over leggings and socks. Feet. Lily sat, pushed wet socks off, and pulled on the dry pair. Better. Langston returned with 2 folded throws and a small heater. He plugged it in. The coil glowed. Tea. Naomi nodded. Ginger. A little honey. Langston poured. Naomi held the cup. Small sips. Lily drank. Hands stopped shaking. Alexander stood at the mantel, watching. He exhaled once. I owe you. Naomi kept her focus on Lily. She slipped. I know what happened, Alexander said. Thank you. Naomi glanced up. You're welcome. It won't happen again, he said. Naomi didn't answer. She checked Lily's hands and pressed the cup back. Finish. Lily drank, then leaned into Naomi's side. I'm okay. Alexander crouched. Look at me. Lily raised her eyes. No pond without me or Naomi. Understood. Understood, Lily said. I called her. She came. Alexander looked at Naomi. You went straight in. There wasn't time, Naomi said. She was sinking. You could have waited for help. She was sinking, Naomi repeated. Silence. The heater hummed. Lily tugged Naomi's sleeve. Stay tonight. I'll stay, Naomi said. Alexander stood. You'll both move to the blue suite for now. It's closer. Naomi shook her head. I can stay in the staff wing. You saved my daughter, Alexander said. You're moving to the blue suite. Naomi held his stare for a beat, then nodded. All right. Langston returned with another heater. Shall I prepare the blue suite, sir? Do it, Alexander said. Firelit. Extra blankets. Humidifier. Yes, sir. Alexander faced Lily. Hungry? No, Lily said. You need food, Naomi said. Soup. Bread. Alexander nodded to Langston. Soup. Fresh bread. Apple slices. Langston left again. Alexander turned to Naomi. The doctor. She's fine, Naomi said. But you can call if you need to. I'll have him check her this afternoon, Alexander said. Lily pulled the blanket to her chin. Naomi, tell him about the ice. It was thin, Naomi said. Edges crack first. Alexander's jaw tightened. I'll have it roped off. Signs up. Grounds crew on it today. Good, Naomi said. Langston reappeared with a phone. The doctor can arrive at 3, sir. Confirm, Alexander said. Also, notify security. South Garden closed until further notice. Yes, sir. Langston left again. Alexander faced Naomi. I said things last night that were out of line. I heard, Naomi said. I was wrong, he said. Naomi looked at Lily. She heard too. Alexander's eyes dropped. Lily. I don't want the models, Lily said. I want her. Alexander let that sit. We're not discussing models today. We're discussing who takes care of me, Lily said. Naomi squeezed Lily's hand. Rest. Alexander drew a breath, then released it. You're staying, he said to Naomi. No one is sending you anywhere. Good, Lily said. Langston returned with a tray. Chicken soup. Bread. Apples. He set the tray on the low table and placed a linen napkin over Lily's lap. Naomi took the spoon. Try, Naomi said. Lily ate a spoonful, then another. Warm. More, Naomi said. Lily ate steadily. Alexander watched the pace, the calm, the simple commands and simple answers. His shoulders eased. He checked his watch. I canceled my morning meetings, he said to no one in particular. Lily glanced at him. You never do. I did, he said. Naomi handed Lily a slice of apple. Chew. Lily chewed, then returned the cup for more tea. Naomi poured. Alexander ran a hand over his face. What do you need? He asked Naomi. Dry clothes for myself, she said. The blue suite key. A space heater for the corridor until the fire's fully going. Done, he said. Langston. Already arranged, sir, Langston said from the doorway. A change of clothes is warming by the hearth in the blue suite. The key is here. He held it up. Naomi took it. Thank you. Alexander studied Naomi's damp sleeves. Go change now. I'll sit. Lily grabbed Naomi's hand. Don't leave. I'll be 5 minutes, Naomi said. Count to 300. I'll count, Lily said reluctant. Naomi stood. Alexander stepped forward automatically. I've got her. Naomi hesitated, then nodded once and moved toward the door. Langston, escort, Alexander said. No need, Naomi said. I know the way. Alexander didn't argue. Naomi left. Lily watched the door. 300, she whispered, and started counting under her breath. Alexander sat beside her, stiff at first, then closer. Keep counting, he said. Lily breathed. He adjusted the blanket around her shoulders. She peered at him. You're counting wrong. I'm improvising, he said. She almost smiled. 10. He held out his hand. Bracelet. She frowned. I lost it. I found it. He took the silver moon from his pocket and showed it. Her eyes lit. He didn't hand it over yet. Rules, he said. You wear it after the doctor checks you. She nodded. Okay. They sat in quiet. The heater hummed. Fire cracked softly. Lily counted. 40, 50. Naomi returned in clean clothes, hair wrapped in a dry scarf. She moved straight to Lily. How many? 62, Lily said. Good. Naomi took the seat, checked Lily's hands, forehead, and pulse. Better. Alexander stood to give her room. You changed fast. I said 5 minutes, Naomi said. It was 5. Thank you, he said. The words were quieter now, less formal. Naomi looked at him. He looked back. No speeches. No apology speech. Just eye contact, then a small nod from both of them. Langston entered with a folded fleece and placed it at the armrest. Doctor at 3, he said. Grounds crew roping the pond now. Thank you, Alexander said. Lily tugged Naomi's sleeve again. Stay for the doctor? I'll stay, Naomi said. Alexander checked his phone, then put it face down. I'll be here too. Lily's eyes widened. You'll both be here? Yes, they said together. Lily sank deeper into the blanket. Okay. Alexander paced once to the window and back. Security will tighten the garden. Cameras at 2 poles. I'll approve the purchase. Naomi nodded. Teach Lily where not to walk. We will, Alexander said. Lily raised a hand. I can follow rules. I know, Naomi said. You also jumped to help people. I jumped to look at the ice, Lily said. That was dumb. It was curious, Naomi said. Curious needs caution. Okay, Lily said. Alexander looked at Naomi again. Last night I said Naomi would never. Stop, Lily said. He stopped. Naomi kept her gaze steady. We go forward. Forward, Alexander said. Langston reappeared. The blue suite is ready. Shall I move Miss Lily now or after the doctor? After lunch, Naomi said. Then a nap. Alexander nodded. Do that. Naomi stood. We'll walk slowly. Blanket stays on. Heater follows. I'll carry the heater, Alexander said. You'll carry the tray, Naomi said. Hands free for Lily. Alexander accepted the correction with a short nod. Tray it is. Naomi helped Lily stand. Small steps. Lily slid off the couch, blanket around her shoulders like a cape. I can walk. We're beside you, Naomi said. They moved into the corridor. Naomi on the left, Alexander on the right, Lily between them. Langston followed with the heater. The elevator doors opened. They stepped in. Naomi pressed 2. In the elevator, Alexander spoke without looking away from the panel. You saved my daughter. That's not a debt I can repay. Naomi answered without looking up. Then don't try to repay it. Just keep her safe. I will, he said. The doors opened. They walked to the blue suite. Langston opened the door. The hearth already burned. Naomi guided Lily to the bed and tucked the blanket tighter. Alexander set the tray on the side table. Shoes off, Naomi said. Lily kicked them away. Doctor at 3? At 3, Alexander said. Naomi stays? She stays, Alexander said. Lily closed her eyes. Good. Naomi stood at the foot of the bed. Alexander stood at the side. They glanced at each other again. No speeches. Just an understanding. The line between staff and family had shifted. Alexander broke the silence. If you need anything, ask. I will, Naomi said. He lingered a second, then turned to the door. Langston, outside. Quiet floor. Yes, sir, the butler said, taking position in the hall. Alexander looked back once more. Lily's hand had found Naomi's sleeve and wouldn't let go. Naomi didn't move. Thank you, Alexander said one last time, and left the room. Alexander strode into the private dining room and shut the door. Langston, give me a list of all staff who left the estate this week. Yes, sir. Langston checked the tablet. 4 people, 2 event servers, 1 kitchen aide, and Jenna Marks. Alexander looked up sharply. Jenna? She worked near Naomi, correct? Yes, sir. She resigned this morning. No notice. Address. Langston read it off. Alexander nodded. Call her. I want to know why. Langston dialed and put the call on speaker. Jenna, this is Langston from the Grant estate. Mr. Alexander would like to ask. A mocking laugh came through. Ask Naomi. She's the reason I'm gone. Alexander's voice cut in. Explain. She thinks she's the lady of the house now. Lily's glued to her, and you're letting it happen. Everyone sees it. It's pathetic. Facts, not gossip, Alexander said flatly. Fact? She's replacing Lily's mother in that kid's head. You'll regret it. Jenna hung up. Langston lowered the phone. Shall I pursue this further? No. She's not worth our time, Alexander said. Mrs. Holloway entered from the side door, carrying a folder. Sir, you should see this. The service staff chat group. Someone's been spreading photos. Alexander opened the folder. Printed screenshots showed Naomi holding Lily by the pond, wrapped in the blanket, wet hair clinging to her face. The captions read, The Maid's auditioning to be the next Mrs. Grant, and Models out, Maid in. Who took these? Alexander asked. Mrs. Holloway pointed at a username. Matches Jenna's phone. Alexander handed the folder back. Kill the photos online. Contact the platform. If they don't cooperate, use legal. Yes, sir. From the doorway, Naomi's voice came. You don't have to do that. Alexander turned. Yes, I do. They'll just make another post somewhere else, Naomi said. Then we make it clear they don't get away with it, Alexander replied. Naomi stepped in, closing the door behind her. I heard what she said. I don't care about gossip. I care about Lily. You think I don't? Alexander shot back. I think you're used to controlling people with fear, Naomi said evenly. But that's not what Lily needs right now. Alexander's jaw tightened. She needs protection. She needs stability, Naomi countered. If you react to every whisper, she'll notice. And she'll start thinking she's the reason for all this. Langston's phone buzzed. He glanced at it. Sir, a delivery from the modeling agency just arrived. 2 portfolios and a note requesting your feedback. Alexander didn't take the folder Langston offered. Send it back. No feedback. Yes, sir. Langston left. Naomi folded her arms. So the models are gone? They were never in, Alexander said. That was for the event. Lily's choice is her own. And you? Naomi asked. I'm considering, Alexander said. Mrs. Holloway looked between them. If I may, sir, children don't fake that kind of attachment. Lily's never been this calm since her mother passed. Alexander gave a short nod. I noticed. Naomi adjusted her stance. Then decide based on her, not on what your staff thinks. I will, Alexander said. He moved toward the door, then stopped. Naomi, if anyone approaches you with this kind of talk, report it. Directly to me. I handle my own fights, Naomi said. Not in my house, you don't, Alexander replied and walked out. Mrs. Holloway sighed. He means well even when he sounds like that. Naomi gave a faint smile. I've figured that out. Alexander stepped into the breakfast room where Naomi was setting Lily's plate. You're both free at noon, he said. Naomi glanced up. For what? A meeting, Alexander replied. Lily looked between them. With who? Alexander took a seat. Some people from my foundation. I want Naomi to be there. Naomi shook her head. That's not my place. It is now, Alexander said. Mrs. Holloway entered with juice. She's not wrong, sir. It's unusual. I'm aware, Alexander said. This isn't about usual. It's about the new project, children without stable homes. Naomi's insight will matter. Naomi's brows pulled together. You want me to talk about my past? I want you to talk about what works for a child in crisis, Alexander said. Lily brightened. You mean kids like the ones in the stories Naomi tells me? Yes, Alexander said. Naomi placed Lily's cup down. And if I say no? Then I'll reschedule until you say yes, Alexander replied, calm but firm. Mrs. Holloway hid a smile. He'll do it too. Naomi exhaled. Fine. But I'm not dressing up. You'll look appropriate, Alexander said. Langston will arrange it. Lily grinned. Can I come? Alexander hesitated. It's a business meeting. She stays with me, Naomi said. Or I don't go. Alexander leaned back. Then she comes. At 11:30, Langston appeared at Naomi's door holding a navy dress and a matching blazer. From Mrs. Holloway. Fits the occasion. Naomi eyed it. Not my style. Your style is not under question, Langston said politely. Time is. 10 minutes later, Naomi emerged, hair simply tied, Lily in a cardigan beside her. Alexander stood waiting at the base of the staircase. His gaze swept over them but he said nothing, just nodded once. Car's ready, he said. In the town civic center, the foundation board sat around a long table. A banner read Grant Foundation, Every Child Matters. Alexander gestured. This is Naomi Reed and my daughter Lily. Naomi is here to share real-world experience. A silver-haired woman on the board leaned forward. Are you a childcare professional? No, Naomi said. I've lived it. That's different. Murmurs around the table. Alexander tapped the folder before him. She's raising Lily in a way that works. I want that perspective for the new program. A man in a gray suit said, with respect, Mr. Grant, programs run on structure, not personal sentiment. Naomi met his eyes. Structure without care fails. I've seen it. Examples? The woman asked. Naomi's tone stayed even. Homes with rules but no warmth. Kids leave those places worse than they came in. You can check the statistics. Alexander watched the board, reading faces. We're not here to debate Naomi's qualifications. We're here to hear her recommendations. Naomi spoke clearly. Stable caregiver, safe environment, predictable routine, trust. Without all four, nothing else holds. One of the younger board members leaned forward. That's simple. Why do so many programs fail? Because adults want control, not connection, Naomi said. And kids feel that. Lily tugged Naomi's sleeve. Tell them about Mrs. Jacobs. Naomi nodded. A neighbor who took in kids. She had nothing, just a tiny apartment, but her kids stayed out of trouble because they knew they mattered to her. Alexander interjected, that's the point. We can provide resources and structure, but without the human factor, it collapses. The silver-haired woman glanced at Naomi. Would you be willing to consult on this project? Naomi hesitated. I'm a maid in his house. That's all. Alexander spoke before anyone else could. You'll be a paid consultant starting today. Naomi shot him a look. We didn't discuss that. We are now, Alexander said. Lily whispered loudly, say yes. Naomi sighed. Yes. Back in the car, Lily bounced in her seat. You were amazing. Naomi shook her head. I just said what I know. Alexander glanced at her in the rearview mirror. And that's exactly why they listened. Naomi looked out the window. Don't expect me to sugarcoat things. I wouldn't have it any other way, Alexander said. Alexander returned from a meeting earlier than expected. He paused at the library door when he heard Lily's laughter. Inside, Naomi was seated on the couch, Lily leaning into her as they looked at a colorful book spread open across their laps. Alexander stepped in. What's making you laugh like that? Naomi looked up. A folk tale from Ghana. The girl in the story tricks a greedy chief into giving away all his food. Lily grinned. She's so smart. Smarter than the chief. Alexander smirked. Greedy chiefs usually get what's coming. Naomi raised a brow. Sounds like something you'd know. Lily giggled. You're not greedy, Daddy. Just bossy. Bossy gets things done, Alexander said. Or stops people from talking, Naomi countered. Lily pointed at them. See? You're doing it again. Doing what? Alexander asked. Talking like you're arguing, but smiling while you do it. Naomi closed the book. That's called a discussion. Lily tilted her head. It feels like you like each other. Alexander glanced away. Time for bed. 5 more minutes, Lily said quickly. Alexander gave a short nod. 5. When the story ended, Naomi stood to take Lily upstairs. Alexander followed them into the hall. She's calmer lately, he said quietly. Naomi adjusted the blanket in her arms. Because you've been listening to her. I always listen. No, Naomi said. You hear her. But now you're listening. Big difference. Alexander stopped on the stair. And you think I'm improving? I think you're trying, Naomi said. That matters to her. Before Alexander could respond, Langston appeared at the landing. Sir, Mrs. Holloway needs your approval for the gala guest list. In my study, Alexander said. Naomi turned to head upstairs, but Alexander called after her. You'll be at the gala. Naomi frowned. I don't attend parties. You will. People will talk if you're absent, and Lily will want you there. If I refuse? Alexander's voice was certain. You won't. Lily will make sure of it. That night, in Lily's room, Naomi tucked her in. Will you come to the party? Lily asked. Naomi hesitated. Do you want me to? Yes. I want my friends to meet you. And they have the best cake. Naomi smiled. Then I'll come. From the doorway, Alexander said, settled. Naomi brushed Lily's hair back. Sleep now. Good night, Lily murmured. Naomi turned to leave, but Alexander stepped aside for her. You're part of this now, whether you realize it or not. I'm here for her. That's all, Naomi said, passing him. 2 days later, Mrs. Holloway entered the kitchen where Naomi was washing dishes. Gala dress fitting is tomorrow at 10. Langston will drive you. Naomi shook her head. I can wear what I have. Not to this event, Mrs. Holloway said. It's formal. Cameras, press, everyone will be watching. Naomi kept drying a plate. Sounds like a good reason for me to stay home. Alexander walked in behind her. You're going. End of discussion. Naomi turned to face him. I'm not a prop for your image. You're the person Lily trusts most, Alexander said. If you're not there, she'll spend the night looking for you instead of enjoying herself. Naomi exhaled slowly. Fine. But I'm not smiling for the press. Just be yourself, Alexander said. On the day of the fitting, Naomi arrived at a boutique with Mrs. Holloway and Lily. A sales assistant approached. Mr. Grant called ahead. Private fitting room is ready. Lily ran to the racks. This one. She held up a deep green gown. Naomi shook her head. Too fancy. It's perfect, Lily insisted. Try it. In the fitting room, Naomi reluctantly stepped into the gown. When she emerged, Lily's eyes went wide. You look like a princess. Alexander's voice came from the doorway. She looks like herself. Which is better? Naomi crossed her arms. You're early. I wanted to see if my daughter's choice was right, Alexander said. It is. Mrs. Holloway clapped her hands. We'll have it altered by Friday. Naomi returned to the fitting room. You two talk too much about me. As she closed the door, Lily whispered to Alexander, she's going to have fun. Alexander smiled faintly. We'll see. The morning of the gala, Naomi was arranging flowers in the foyer when Mrs. Holloway rushed in. You need to hear this. Naomi looked up. What happened? Mrs. Holloway lowered her voice. Someone's been telling staff that you're trying to replace Lily's mother. Naomi's hands stilled. Who? I'm not certain, but the words are spreading. Be careful. Alexander entered from the hall. Be careful about what? Mrs. Holloway hesitated. It's just gossip, sir. I want details, Alexander said. Naomi spoke evenly. Someone says I'm trying to replace her mother. Alexander's jaw tightened. Who started it? I don't know, Naomi said. And it doesn't matter. I'm here for Lily, not anyone's approval. It matters to me, Alexander said. He turned to Langston, who had just stepped in. Find out where it started. Yes, sir. Later, in the kitchen, Naomi found two catering staff whispering. When they saw her, they froze. Go ahead, Naomi said. Say it to my face. One of them mumbled, We didn't mean. You meant enough to repeat it, Naomi cut in. So say it now. The others shifted uncomfortably. We heard Jenna say it. At the market. Naomi's voice was flat. Jenna doesn't work here anymore. Still has friends here, the first one muttered. Naomi walked out without another word. That evening, Alexander found Naomi in the nursery reading to Lily. I know who started it, Alexander said. Naomi closed the book. Jenna? Yes, Alexander confirmed. She told people at the market you were trying to secure your position with me through Lily. Lily frowned. What does that mean? It means someone's being unkind, Naomi said quickly. Alexander crouched beside his daughter. It's not true. You know that. I know, Lily said. Naomi's my friend. That's all. Alexander stood. It ends tonight. Naomi followed him into the hall. Don't waste your time on it. It's not a waste if it protects you, Alexander said. The next day, Alexander summoned the entire household staff to the great hall. This house will not tolerate lies, he said. If anyone repeats the story about Naomi, they will be dismissed immediately. A murmur ran through the group. Alexander's voice sharpened. If you have an issue with Naomi, bring it to me directly. Do not poison this house with rumors. One staff member raised a hand nervously. Sir, some people just misunderstood. Then understand this, Alexander said. Naomi is here because I chose her to care for my daughter. She is under my protection. That is final. No one spoke after that. After the meeting, Naomi caught up with him in the hall. You didn't have to do that. Yes, I did, Alexander said. You won't fight for yourself, so I will. I can handle it. Not in my house, Alexander replied. Not while Lily's watching. Naomi studied him for a moment. You care more than you admit. Alexander didn't answer. That night, Naomi was tucking Lily in when the girl whispered, People can be mean because they're jealous. Where did you hear that? Naomi asked. Mrs. Holloway, Lily said. She told me not to worry. Naomi smiled faintly. She's right. And you don't need to worry about me. Alexander appeared at the door. Everything all right? Everything's fine, Naomi said. Lily sat up. Can you both come to the gala with me tomorrow? Alexander chuckled. That was already the plan. Good, Lily said, settling back under the blanket. The next morning, as Naomi prepared breakfast, Langston approached. Sir asked me to inform you. Press will be at the gala. Expect questions. Naomi's tone was dry. I'm not answering any. You may have to, Langston said. Best to be prepared. When Alexander entered, Naomi turned to him. If anyone asks me about being Lily's mother, I'll tell them the truth, I'm not. Alexander nodded. And if they push? Then I'll ask them why it matters. Alexander's lips curved slightly. Good. At noon, Mrs. Holloway passed Naomi in the hall. Rumors die fast when they're confronted. You handled it well. I didn't do anything, Naomi said. You stayed, Mrs. Holloway replied. That's more than most. Naomi gave a small nod and kept walking toward Lily's room. Podium stays here. Cameras along the rope. No one crosses the fountain line, Alexander said. Security moved. Barricades clicked into place on the east lawn. Technicians tested mics. Reporters gathered, badges out, lenses up. Langston checked the time. 2 minutes, sir. Naomi and Lily? Alexander asked. Waiting in the anteroom, Mrs. Holloway said. They're ready. Alexander adjusted his tie, then stopped. No tie. He loosened it and slipped it into Langston's hand. No armor. Understood, Langston said. A murmur rolled across the lawn as Alexander climbed the steps. He set a single sheet of notes on the podium, looked at it once, and folded it away. Thank you for coming, he said into the mic. I'll be brief. A dozen phones lifted. A red tally light blinked on a live camera. Last night you heard rumors, Alexander continued. You've read worse ones in the last week. They involve my daughter and a member of my household staff. I'm here to end them. A reporter near the front called out, Are you confirming a relationship with the maid? Alexander didn't blink. I'm confirming that my daughter's well-being comes first. Her name is Lily. The person she trusts most is Naomi Reed. Title doesn't change truth. Another voice. Is Naomi replacing Lily's late mother? No one replaces a mother, Alexander said. But a child can have more than one person who shows up. Microphones extended. Camera shutters snapped. Alexander raised a hand. You'll get questions. First facts. 2 mornings ago, Lily slipped on the south pond and fell through thin ice. Naomi went into the water without hesitation and pulled her out. That's not speculation. That happened. He turned his head slightly. Langston. Langston lifted a small remote. A portable screen beside the hedge lit up with time-stamped security footage. The red coat, the crack of ice, Naomi's leap. Silence fell over the lawn except for the hiss of the speakers. Alexander nodded once. The screen went dark. I'm here to say thank you to Naomi Reed in public, he said. Not as a gesture. As a record. A reporter with a tabloid mic pushed forward. Mr. Grant, sources say your board warned you Naomi is a liability. Are you risking your company for sentiment? Alexander stepped away from the podium and toward the rope. Say your name. Dylan Reese, the ledger. Dylan, Alexander said, my board advises on earnings. I decide how my daughter is treated in my home. That's not a risk. That's a job description. Another reporter shouted, Will Naomi speak? Alexander looked toward the anteroom. If she chooses. He signaled. Naomi stepped out with Lily at her side. No gown. No staging. A simple blazer over a dark dress. Lily held her hand and didn't let go. The murmurs swelled. A few cameras refocused with mechanical whirs. Naomi stopped at the podium. She didn't touch the mic. Lily is fine, she said. That's all that matters. A voice cut in sharp. Are you in love with Mr. Grant? Lily's grip tightened. Naomi didn't flinch. No, she glanced down at Lily. We're taking care of a child. Keep your questions there. Do you intend to become Lily's legal guardian? Someone else asked. Alexander returned to the mic. I intend to keep the person my daughter trusts within reach. The rest is private. The tabloid mic rose again. Did you invite models to compete to be Lily's mother? Yes, Alexander said. The lawn stilled. It was a mistake. I thought choice meant presenting options I understood. Lily made a different choice. She chose who showed up when it counted. I heard her. Will the company issue a statement? A business reporter asked. This is the statement, Alexander said. We protect our own. From the press pack. Are you promoting Naomi within the household? Yes, Alexander said. Effective today, Naomi is Lily's full-time caregiver with full authority over Lily's routine and needs. She will be compensated accordingly. She will be respected accordingly. A reporter near the back called, Does this set a precedent for your foundation's new initiative? It sets a principle, Alexander said. Consistency. Presence. Accountability. He turned slightly. Naomi. Naomi shook her head. I've said what I need to say. A thin man in a navy coat raised his hand. Question for Naomi. Do you feel safe after the rumors? Naomi looked at him. I feel seen. That's safer than silence. The tabloid mic lifted one more time. Ms. Reed, did you leak the pond footage to boost sympathy? No, Naomi said. I don't leak. I work. Alexander leaned in. We released the clip, he said, because speculation thrives in shadows. Mr. Grant, are you concerned about backlash from donors? Another asked. I'm concerned about my daughter watching grown adults decide whether kindness is a liability, Alexander said. Donors who disagree can keep their checks. Statement for the record, someone said quickly. On the record, Alexander replied. Print it. A woman with local news credentials raised a mic toward Lily. Lily, can I ask you one thing? Only if your dad agrees. Alexander crouched to Lily's level. You don't have to answer anything. Lily looked up at him, then at Naomi, then at the reporter. One thing, she said. What do you want most right now? The reporter asked gently. Lily squeezed Naomi's hand. For people to stop being mean to her. Alexander stood. We're done. Voices rose. One more, Mr. Grant, the board, Mr. Grant, the models, Mr. Grant. Alexander stepped back to the podium. You've got your quotes? We're going inside. The mics crowded forward. Security held the line. Naomi, a reporter called, what will you do next? Lunch, Naomi said. She glanced at Lily. With her. They moved. Alexander in front, Naomi and Lily together, Mrs. Holloway and Langston bracketing the trio. The lawn buzzed behind them as camera crews packed coils and anchors signed off. Inside the doorway, Alexander stopped. You handled that. Naomi shook her head. You handled it. Lily looked up. We all did. Langston passed Alexander a towel. Your hands, he said quietly. They were shaking. Alexander dried them and handed the towel back. Board call in 20 minutes, he said. Mrs. Holloway nodded. Conference room is ready. Alexander looked at Naomi. Anything you need? Quiet, she said. For her. He turned to Langston. Clear the east corridor for an hour. Yes, sir. Lily tugged Naomi's sleeve. Can we watch the funny baking show? Yes, Naomi said. 2 episodes. 3. 2, Naomi repeated. Alexander's phone vibrated. He checked the screen, then put it face down. They're already calling. Naomi met his eyes. Let them wait 5 minutes. He considered it, then nodded once. 5. Lily pulled Naomi toward the stairs. At the first step, she stopped and looked back at the empty lawn through the glass. They're still out there. They'll always be out there, Naomi said. We'll just be in here. Alexander called after them. Naomi. She turned. Thank you, he said. For saying no. To what? She asked. To letting them write our story, he said. She gave a small nod. Write it yourself. With her. Lily tugged again. Come on. Naomi went with her. Alexander watched them disappear at the landing, then exhaled, picked up his phone, and faced the next fight. Behind him, through the glass, the red light on a distant camera blinked off. The questions would return. For now, the answers were inside. Alexander's office door swung open. Langston stepped in, face tight. Sir, we have a problem. Alexander set down his pen. Which department? Not internal, Langston said. External. The Whitmore Foundation Board. They've received a proposal from Horizon Trust. It's a takeover bid for the Orphan Outreach Project. Your project with Naomi. Alexander's tone went cold. Why am I hearing about this now? They sent it this morning. But, Langston hesitated. The bid includes a clause removing you and Naomi from any operational role. Naomi appeared at the doorway. I heard my name. What's going on? Alexander looked at her. A rival wants the project. They want us out. Naomi stepped in. Why? Langston lowered his voice. Because someone's feeding them information. Internal schedules, donor lists. They even have a draft report with Naomi's name removed from all credits. Alexander's eyes narrowed. Who's leaking? We don't know yet, Langston admitted. Alexander grabbed his phone. Call an emergency board meeting. Naomi crossed her arms. Wait, if they've already moved this far, confronting them head-on might tip them off that we know. You want to play quiet? Alexander asked. I want proof, Naomi said. Otherwise they'll spin it as paranoia. Langston interjected. We can trace the email logs, but it'll take a day. You have 12 hours, Alexander said. 2 hours later, Naomi was in the Foundation's records room with a laptop open, scanning files. Mrs. Holloway walked in carrying a thermos. You've been at this all morning. I'm close, Naomi said. Look at this, donor report exported last week. Timestamp says 9:42 a.m. That was after the server closed for public access. Someone inside did this. Mrs. Holloway frowned. That's the same morning Monica was in the office, looking for pens. Naomi's head lifted. Monica? The one who left after the pond incident. She came back last week. Temporary contract in events. Naomi stood. Where is she now? They found Monica in the downstairs lounge, scrolling her phone. She looked up, smirking. What's this, an interrogation? Alexander stepped forward. Where did you send the donor list? I don't know what you're talking about, Monica said. Naomi dropped a printed page onto the table. Timestamp. Server ID. Your login. Monica's smirk faltered. So what if I shared it? It's public good, right? Alexander's voice cut sharp. You sold it. Monica shrugged. Maybe. But people like Naomi don't run foundations. People like her clean the floors. Lily's voice came from the doorway. That's not true. Everyone turned. Naomi's eyes softened. Lily, go back upstairs. No, Lily said. You help people. She doesn't. Alexander looked at Langston. Escort her out. Now. Langston took Monica by the arm. You're done here. In Alexander's office, Naomi dropped into a chair. This won't stop them. They still have the bid. Alexander paced. Then we make it worthless. If their proposal is tied to fraud, donors will walk. Naomi opened her laptop. I've got Monica's email to a Horizon exec. It includes a PDF of falsified spending, blaming me for missing funds. Alexander stopped pacing. How much? 200,000, Naomi said. It's fake, but convincing. We go public, Alexander decided. Tonight. That's dangerous without context, Naomi warned. They'll twist it. Alexander's gaze locked on hers. Then you stand next to me when I say it. Naomi hesitated. You're asking me to take the hit first. I'm asking you to end it for good, Alexander said. At 6 p.m., the foundation hall was packed with press and board members. Alexander stepped to the mic. Naomi stood at his side, arms steady at her sides. An organization tried to take over our orphan outreach program, Alexander began. They used stolen documents and falsified spending reports to discredit the program lead, Naomi Reed. Gasps rippled. Cameras clicked. Those documents were created by Monica Hale, Alexander continued. She was compensated by Horizon Trust. We have her email confession. And we have proof the financial report is fabricated. A reporter shouted, Can we see it? Alexander nodded to Langston. Screens lit with the PDF and the server log showing Monica's login. This, Alexander said, is what an attack on integrity looks like. And this, he gestured to Naomi, is the person who saved a life in my household and is now saving lives through this program. She will continue to lead it. Applause started in the back, spreading forward. Naomi stepped to the mic. The work will go on. With or without Horizon. With or without the rumors. Another reporter asked, What happens to Monica Hale? She'll answer to the law, Alexander said flatly. Back in his office afterward, Alexander poured water into 2 glasses. You handled that. Naomi shook her head. We handled it. Lily's the one who spoke up first. Alexander smiled faintly. She learns from you. Naomi took the glass. She learns from both of us. The foundation's main auditorium buzzed with voices. Rows of chairs filled with donors, press, and community leaders. A long banner across the stage read, "Orphan Outreach, a promise to keep." Alexander stepped up to the stage entrance, jacket over his arm. Langston handed him a wireless mic, all systems checked. Cameras live in 3 minutes. Naomi stood at the side, Lily's hand in hers. "You don't have to do this," she said quietly. "Yes, I do," Alexander replied. "They tried to turn this into a scandal. We turn it into a statement." Mrs. Holloway leaned toward Naomi. "Stay close to him up there. Optics matter." The stage lights came up. Applause filled the hall as Alexander walked to the podium. He didn't wait for the noise to settle. 3 weeks ago, this program almost disappeared, he began. Not because it failed. Because people thought they could by its name and erase the people who built it. He gestured toward Naomi. "This is Naomi Reed. She pulled my daughter out of an icy pond with her bare hands. She's the lead who's taking this program into schools, shelters, and every place children feel forgotten." A ripple of whispers moved through the audience. "Some of you," Alexander continued, "got letters saying she was unfit, that she misused funds. You know now those letters were lies. You saw the proof last night. So here's what happens next." He stepped away from the podium, holding the mic in one hand. "Naomi isn't going anywhere. She's running the program. Effective today, she'll have an expanded budget and full hiring authority." Applause broke out, stronger this time. A donor in the front row raised a hand. "What about Horizon Trust?" "They're finished here," Alexander said. "We're filing charges. And every cent they touched will be redirected back into the program." Another voice from the side. "What if other donors pull out?" "Then we replace them," Alexander said. "This is about the kids, not the checkbooks." He motioned to Naomi. "Come say something." Naomi shook her head at first, then stepped forward. She took the mic, her voice even. "I didn't take this job to be on a stage. I took it to keep promises to kids who've been told no too many times. This program isn't about me. It's about them. And it's going to keep going." She turned toward the donors. "If you want to help, help. If you want to look for a reason not to, there's the door." The room went quiet for a beat, then applause erupted again, louder, longer. After the speech, reporters crowded the foot of the stage. "Naomi, will you seek an official leadership title?" "No," Naomi said. "Titles don't run programs. People do." "Mr. Grant, will you continue publicizing internal disputes?" "Only if they threaten the work," Alexander replied. "Transparency isn't negotiable." One journalist pushed forward. "Naomi, are you and Mr. Grant?" Naomi cut in. "This is not that story." Alexander put a hand on her shoulder, guiding her past the mics. "That's enough for tonight." In the green room, Lily climbed onto a chair. "You were good," she told Naomi. "You think so?" Naomi asked. "Yeah." "You didn't let them be mean." Alexander smiled at Lily. "You didn't either." Langston entered with a folder. Press coverage already rolling in. Headlines are favorable. Alexander flipped through. Grant Foundation stands firm. Maid turn program lead draws standing ovation. Horizon faces fraud charges. Naomi handed the folder back. "It's not over. They'll try again." "Then we'll be ready," Alexander said. "Together." Lily looked between them. "Can we get ice cream now?" Alexander laughed. "Yes. But only if Naomi says yes." Naomi pretended to think. "But I get the first scoop." "Morning." Alexander stood at the patio doors and checked his watch. "We keep it small," he said. "Family, staff, 2 neighbors, Mrs. Jacobs from the shelter. No press." Mrs. Holloway nodded. "Caterer at 11. Quartet at noon. Tables in the south garden." Langston held a clipboard. "Weather is clear. Backup tent is ready." Naomi stepped in, tying an apron. "What do you need me to do?" Nothing, Alexander said. You're a guest. Naomi reached for a tray anyway. I'll carry this. Guests like lemonade. Lily ran in with a cardboard folder. Nobody look. Surprise for later. Alexander smiled. You're in charge. I'm always in charge, Lily said and dashed away. Guests filtered through the open doors. Handshakes. Soft greetings. The quartet started a light tune. Mrs. Jacobs approached Naomi with a squeeze of the hand. Proud of you. Naomi smiled. I learned from you. Alexander moved from group to group. Thank you for coming. He stopped at the gardener. The roses look perfect. They had good weather, the gardener said. Lily tugged Naomi's sleeve. Cake it too. Promise you'll be there. I'll be there, Naomi said. Alexander raised a glass. Short remarks in 10, he told Langston. Langston tapped his watch. You have 8. Alexander found Naomi beside the lemonade. You're carrying the tray anyway. Standing still makes me nervous, Naomi said. He gently took the tray from her. Then walk with me. They crossed the garden together, Lily bouncing ahead. A few staff members greeted Naomi by name, not title. Mrs. Holloway murmured, Optics are good. Forget optics, Naomi said. Is Lily happy? Look at her, Mrs. Holloway replied. Lily was laughing with 2 neighborhood kids, pointing at a new swing. After cake, she ordered them. 2 o'clock. Langston tapped a spoon against a glass. If you'll gather near the arbor, Mr. Grant would like a moment. People moved. Alexander stepped forward with a handheld mic. Thank you for coming to what is, officially, not a gala, he said. A few chuckles. It's a thank you. He looked at Lily. To the bravest 10-year-old I know. Lily grinned. That's me. And to the person who keeps her steady, Alexander continued. He faced Naomi. Naomi Reed. Applause rose. Naomi lifted a hand once, then let it fall. Alexander held up a simple envelope. 2 things today. First, paperwork. Effective this morning, Naomi is Lily's full-time caregiver with all authorities documented. Second, family. Titles aside, we wanted to say it out loud. He turned to Naomi. You are not just the one Lily chose. You are also the one I choose for this family. Silence, then stronger applause. Naomi blinked, then nodded once. Okay. Lily whispered loudly, that means forever. Naomi crouched to Lily's level. It means we don't leave each other. Cake now? Lily asked. Cake now, Alexander said. The caterer rolled out a white cake. Lily pointed. The big slice is for Naomi. Naomi shook her head. Give it to Mrs. Jacobs. Mrs. Jacobs laughed. Half and half. Alexander handed out plates. No interviews, no photos, he reminded a neighbor with a phone. The neighbor slipped it away. Understood. Between bites, donors approached quietly. A neighbor, if the program needs volunteers, call us. Alexander, Naomi will coordinate. A staff member, I'm sorry for earlier, Ms. Reed. Naomi, work hard. That's enough. The quartet shifted to a livelier tune. Children chased each other across the lawn. Lily returned with frosting on her lip. Naomi wiped it with a napkin. Speech, Lily said, pointing at Naomi. No, Naomi said. 2 sentences, Lily bargained. Naomi glanced at Alexander. He shrugged. 2 sentences. Naomi took the mic. Thank you for showing up, she said. Keep showing up for her and for the kids we serve. Applause again. A courier entered through the side gate, carrying a slim folder. Langston intercepted, scanned the label, and brought it to Alexander. From council. Alexander flipped it open, scanned the first page, and looked up at Naomi. It's done. What is? Naomi asked. Monica signed the confession, Alexander said. Horizon withdrew. Charges filed. Naomi exhaled. Good. Lily tugged both of them. Enough work. It's game time. What game? Alexander asked. The 3 questions game, Lily said. We take turns. Only 3 questions each. Rules, Naomi said. No trick questions, Lily said. Go. Alexander pointed at Naomi. First, what do you want for dinner? Pasta, Naomi said. Simple. Naomi looked at Alexander. What time are you home tonight? 7, he said. No meetings after 6. Lily looked at them both. Are we watching the baking show after dinner? Yes, they said together. See, Lily said. Easy game. Later, in the shade of the arbor, 2 board members approached Alexander. No speeches, one said quickly. Just this. He handed over a short letter. We were wrong. We support Naomi's leadership. Alexander read, then folded the letter. Thank you. Naomi walked up with 3 lemonades. Peace offering? Accepted, one board member said, taking a cup. The other cleared her throat. Ms. Reed, if you ever want the director title, it's yours. Naomi shook her head. Give it to someone who needs it. I want the work. Understood, the board member said. They left. Lily slid in as soon as they were gone. What did they want? Nothing we need to think about, Alexander said. Good, Lily said. Because it's time. Time for what? Naomi asked. Lily opened the cardboard folder and pulled out a drawing. Thick crayons. Bold shapes. 3 figures under a big tree. A small music box sketched in the corner. A red bracelet. A house with bright windows. Naomi took it carefully. You made this. It's us, Lily said. You daddy. Family picture. Alexander looked at the drawing for a long second. We'll frame it. Lily shook her head. Not frame. Hang it now. Now, Naomi echoed. Langston. Alexander called. Langston appeared. Yes, sir. We need a frame and a nail, Alexander said. Langston smiled. Already prepared. He pulled a small frame from a bag, slid the drawing in, and handed Alexander a tiny kit. Where? Alexander asked. Lily pointed to a brick wall facing the garden. There. Alexander held the frame against the brick. Level. Left a little, Naomi said. Now straight. He tapped the nail in. The frame hung. Everyone stepped back. Mrs. Jacobs clapped once. That's the right headline. Lily stared at it, satisfied. Now we can play. Naomi squeezed Lily's shoulder. You did this. We did this, Lily said, looking at both of them. The guests said their goodbyes. The quartet packed up. The garden quieted. Alexander stacked plates with the caterer. Leave them, the caterer said. We've got it. I've got it too, Alexander said, and carried them inside. Naomi folded a tablecloth. Mrs. Holloway tried to take it. Guest, she reminded. I can still fold, Naomi said. Lily ran back from the swing, breathless. Last thing. What's the last thing? Alexander asked. Promise, Lily said. She held out her pinky to Naomi. You'll still be here tomorrow morning? Naomi hooked her pinky. Tomorrow morning. Lily extended her other hand to Alexander. You too. Alexander hooked his. Tomorrow morning. Lily nodded, satisfied. Done. Langston stepped out with 3 mugs of cocoa. For the hosts. Alexander accepted one. Naomi took another. Lily wrapped both hands around hers. To tomorrow, Alexander said. To tomorrow, Naomi echoed. Lily lifted her mug carefully. To us. They drank. Inside, through the open patio doors, the framed drawing caught the last light. Outside, the 3 of them stood close, no speeches, no cameras, only plans. Alexander checked his watch and slipped it away. 7, he said. Home for dinner. Naomi nodded. Pasta. Lily grinned. And the baking show. 2 episodes, Naomi said. 3, Lily bargained. Alexander looked at Naomi. 2.5. Deal, Naomi said. They turned toward the house together. The door stayed open. The picture stayed up. The evening moved forward on its own. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who believes family is built on love, not titles. Tell us in the comments where you're watching from, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories about love, resilience, and the courage to stand together.